Yo, what's poppin', y'all? It's Brother Front back at it with another Nikke video. I did want to break up this one and the previous video I'm also going to upload today into two separate ones because there was a lot of information to cover when it comes to the latest Twitter post that they made for the game, especially with this video being patch notes on top of, as you guys can see, dev notes. You see all these previous tabs are full of dev notes, so it's going to be a very long one, so I did want to split it up for that very reason. Otherwise, the video would have been probably like 30 minutes long. But I'm going to breeze through the patch notes themselves because they are pretty standard for what we're used to expecting for patch notes. Only things I really want to cover in here is, of course, the fact that Vesti and Bunny 8 will be coming to the ordinary recruit and mold items after the update's live, which means we will have to wait to receive milk a little bit longer, but that's alright. Of course, we already know about the new characters coming to the game. Of course, being collab characters, don't expect to be able to pull for them or receive copies of them after the event's gone. We already know about the gacha costume for the killer wife. In typical collab fashion, they usually always give them the SSR characters, their own pass skins. So that's what these two are right here. And of course, they also get their own free skins by simply just, as you can see, owning the character. So for those that don't want to buy the pass skins like myself, I most likely won't be getting them. Or I'll be getting the gacha skins, so I'll take these free costumes. Hopefully they're pretty decent, but again, I don't expect much fan service from this collab, so we'll see. And then, interesting enough, we're actually getting a skin for Kay as well. She will be the one featured for the October mission pass, which again does make sense now that we know that Perilous Siege will be featured in the collab event alongside ACPU. We of course know that the event's going to be happening for Resident Evil collab, starting off with part 1 of the story. We'll have to wait a week to get part 2, then another week to get hard mode, like always. We're also getting, like we usually do, a collab specific co-op mission period. We'll have 3 different phases, each going for their own specific durations. So do stay on top of that if you want to get as many rewards as you can, so they can get all the stuff out of the recycling shop. Because they usually also, when they have like big events like this, will do like the extra rewards, like the bonus rewards for the recycling shop that they do sometimes here and there. So do stay on top of that. And of course, they have the mini game, which is described as a vertical defense game where you must effectively manage your inventory while blocking the incoming raptures. So I'm not sure if this is going to be like more tower defense style or like bullet hell style. We'll have to wait and see because they don't really describe more outside of that, and we haven't gotten any more images or videos of gameplay yet. Getting 14-day login event, we will get your copy of Claire, as well as some vouchers and development materials. As always, we'll get full birthday weekend. Glad they're bringing that off more often. Always great to see. Getting an exclusive title screen change for the collab itself, like we usually do. Getting Union Raid and Solo Raid for the end of the month and the beginning of next month, respectively. Champion Arena for those that care about it, or those that can even participate in it. And then this is a real big thing that I also wanted to cover for the patch notes is, of course, all the new features we'll be getting with the quality of life updates for this patch, this upcoming patch. Of course, being able to, lock consumable items in your inventory, the 6 new type of mold items, being able to auto through Tribe Tower now, being able to get way more slots out of your synchro device now because they increased the default from 5 to 25, so it's pretty much 20 free slots off the rip for everybody, which is great. Removing the cooldown for moving Nikke's, which is amazing. Auto assignment feature, those that want to have more streamlined experience with that, and then a new one-tap upgrade feature as well to make upgrading the synchro device more convenient, which is also great. They've already been doing pretty good with just making that system of upgrading the synchro device easier, so the fact that we're getting this on top of that is pretty good. And then resetting Nikke's no longer costs resources to do, which never really costed that much to begin with, but still nice. Weapon descriptions, ease of use in sim room, simulation room, lowering the conditions for buff chains in the simulation room, etc. Optimized UI, added a face mode, is actually pretty cool, where you can view the different expressions of Nikke's So you'll go to Nikke's and then in the view mode, and they'll have I assume probably like a drop down or like a list of the different expressions that you can preview. I'm not sure if they'll be able to allow that for like things like profile decoration, but if they do, that'll be amazing. And then other than that, it's pretty much just the same, commodities and all that. So now we'll move on to the important stuff, the actual dev notes. So again, this is a pretty long one. Not sure what to expect other than then just going over pretty much all the quality of life stuff and just reiterating that again, and maybe teasing something for third Annie, because we should also be getting a new side story soon, but we'll see. So hello commanders, I'm Hyung Suk Yu, the director of Goddess of Victory Nikke. September has always been a special month. Not only does it signify the beginning of a new season, as the summer heat fades away, but it is also a turning point in Nikke's long journey towards its 3rd anniversary. In this dev note, I will once again outline the optimization updates for September and share some good news as we anticipate the month of October. So yeah, pretty much like I said, just going over the quality of life stuff again. So optimizations, due to the frequent release of developers' notes lately, there have been some overlaps in content. However, I believe it's worthwhile to provide a summary since several important optimizations are expected by the end of this month. For topics that have already been covered, I'll give a brief overview for your reference. So again, Tri-Tower auto challenge feature, where you'll be able to basically push a button before you actually go into the current floor that you're on, and then it'll just auto play and keep going until you basically either can't clear the stage anymore or until you decide to stop it. And then some room improvements and relaxed chain conditions. So again, just making the buffs require less of the same typing to fulfill certain conditions. So there's a lower barrier of entry, which is nice for those that are struggling, especially with more so the overclock. I feel would be where this will probably shine the most than anything else. And then synchro device improvements, again, increase the default slots 225, move cooldown time, and launch an automatic Nikke assignment feature, as well as more convenient upgrade features and free level reset to make things less tedious, which is always nice. Then weapon tutorials enhancement. Understanding the different characteristics of each Nikke's weapon goes far beyond simple numerical values. Now you can easily learn about each weapon's basic combat style through weapon feature descriptions and videos. While the tutorial only covers simple traits of the weapons, we hope that this will be both returning players. We hope this will help, both returning players and new players to be able to adapt more easily. So I feel like this probably just means they'll actually include more things like either quick firing with like snipers or rocket launchers, or kind of like gameplay mechanics like that, because the community has obviously known about them for a very long time now, but the game itself doesn't explain it at all. So unless you're watching content creators or people that post videos on how they play the game, you would never know that these mechanics exist in the game. So it's always nice to make things easier to digest for new players. New modes, of course, the most important. I know everyone's going to be excited for the most. We understand how disappointing it can be to use multiple modes without obtaining an SSR Nikke. To address this issue, we are introducing new modes that guarantee the acquisition of SSR Nikkes, namely the high quality access records, perfect molds, and manufacturer's perfect molds. These items will replace some rewards in recurring gameplay, and will also be given as additional rewards in the tribe towers for each manufacturer, respectively. Through these new molds, we aim to offer a more stable recruitment experience. So yeah, obviously, really when it comes to this, the biggest one that everyone's hated the most when it comes to losing out on an SSR is, of course, Pilgrim molds, or Pilgrim/Overspec now. Because, first of all, to even get decent progress on the tower, you need to own characters from that manufacturer to begin with. And you typically can't just brute force it with just one Nikke from that manufacturer. You typically need close enough to a full team to be able to actually progress half decently. And so basically to wait a decently long time, depending on how lucky you are, just to get that going for yourself, and then to spend all that time to only clear so many stages each day to get all these molds that you just absolutely crap out on, is just a god awful gameplay experience. I don't know why it's taking them this long to implement this, because again, it's been something that people have been complaining about since day one. So it took almost 3 years to finally get this feature, but it's here now, so it's always great to have. Coordinated operation weakness element display optimization. In coordinated operation battles where multiple commanders join forces, the character selection phase after the matchmaking marks the beginning of strategy. With this optimization, players will be able to check the selection status of weak element code Nikkes, making the preparation process easier. So there's more optimizations for co-op, so people can have a better idea of what to run. Collectible item lock feature. This one I'm pretty excited for because I do have a bunch of those, obviously, anniversary gifts and like the old winter event gifts as well that, you know, I try to use every fiber of my being to make sure I don't accidentally click on and click use. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably made that mistake in the past because the way they position it is like dangerously low if you're playing like on mobile, to where it's like it's almost like they expected you to tap there to try to get out of the screen and then you just end up using it. So having a lock feature for that, as well as other items that you might want to hold on to and not use immediately, is great. Nikke expression list. Nikke's expressions convey more than words ever could. Until now, you could only encounter their various expressions in story scenarios by chance. With the update, you can view the expressions you've unlocked in the Nikke details page. This may seem like a minor feature, but we believe that personally looking for your favorite expressions will deepen your affection for the Nikkes. We hope each of these moments of discovering their new experiences or expressions will bring you a little extra joy. So don't really mention anything about being able to put it in your profile, so that does kind of suck, but I mean, being able to look at this kind of stuff is always cool for those that want to enjoy that aspect of the game. Union shooting range, collection item effects with scope lock. Union range is not only about numbers, but a stage to unleash your strategic minds. However, the absence of collection item effects when the scope lock is enabled results in a discrepancy from actual combat. So they pretty much changed the scope lock to be able to take effect your collection items, so you can get more accurate kind of numbers, depending on how you want to look at it. Adjustment of boss difficulty in campaign chapter 21. So they're going to be lowering the difficulty of Mother Whale, which is the last boss or the boss of the chapter 21 normal mode, which a lot of people struggle with, especially, you know, given that we just had a Mother Whale solo raid. Definitely not everyone's favorite cup of tea to be fighting against. So that's good that they've always been doing this, making each campaign chapter, you know, easier and easier, but the fact that they decided to do it specifically for one boss means that a lot of players were having trouble with that the most, which I do see that a lot in the community. A lot of people are getting kind of gate kept from playing the rest of the story because of that one boss alone. Side story update. So yes, I was correct. A new side story, Eden Spear, okay, will be released on October 16th. As the title suggests, Eden Spear revolves around Eden. It's been a long time since we've seen them, so that's pretty damn good. I'm excited for that, actually. While it may seem like just a side story, it is a crucial segment that should not be overlooked because of its possible connection to the 3rd anniversary story event, or the main story. Moreover, various well-loved characters who have not been seen in a long time will be making their appearances, and the stories, of course, inherit. I'm sure Cecil and Johan as well. Always great to see them. We wish to bring you joy to you with these reunions alone, and we believe they'll serve as a foreshadowing to make you look forward to future story developments. Though just a short story, we are confident that Eden Spear will be a special experience if you take time to feel the meaning and emotions it carries and warmly welcome the characters that were left in the back of your mind for a while. We really hope you enjoy it. So I definitely obviously expect this side story to incorporate hints towards 3rd Annie, because of course, you know, spoiler alert if you want to skip a little bit into the video, but the last bit that we got in the campaign was, of course, the fact that Eden Spear was fired in our general direction. So I assume we're probably going to see the reason why it was actually fired for the first time, or it might not even be the first time they fired it, but we'll see the reason why they fired it, and, you know, who they were trying to aim it at, because I assume it was not like us. Like, we'll have to see, but I assume there was a strong enemy they were fighting against that caused them to shoot it. Oh wow, up next we have Rapi Red Hood's free costume. It's been a while and I definitely expected it to come soon, but now we're finally actually getting some word about it. So starting October 16th, the highest voted costume of Rapi Red Hood will be distributed for free. Just like last year, we also prepared an exclusive theme song, music video, and a short scenario for the costume. The latest popularity poll and costume voting have been highly intense and unpredictable. I still remember how I nervously monitored the voting until the end, For this reason, each commander's choice carries great importance, and through this process, Rapi's costume has taken on an even more special meaning. The dev team has been working with great excitement to present Rapi, who has been by our side for a long time, in a brand new look. Personally, I think this is the most satisfying music video and song we've produced for any voted costume so far, so I can't wait to hear your thoughts about them. The costume is not just a reward, but another precious experience celebrating the time shared with Rapi. We'll put forth our full effort into perfecting this work until the day it is delivered to you. And then Unbreakable Sphere will be added to the archives, as well as the minigame Bubble March, which is really fun, to be honest. If you guys are interested in Bunny March or a Bubble March, or didn't get a chance to play the 2.5 event, this will be a great time to experience that once it does come out. It does say soon, but they don't have a date, so maybe it won't be until after 3rd Annie or on the date that 3rd Annie launches. Oh, never mind. From October 16th, they say. I should have just waited a little bit longer, damn it. So Unbreakable Sphere and Bubble March will be available in the archives and arcade, respectively, so you can replay them anytime. Oh, wow. Up next, we have Pilgrim's Pickup Rerun in October. Last year, we introduced the Pilgrim's Wish List, an ordinary recruit, increasing the chances of obtaining your desired Pilgrims. However, as Pilgrims have always been a symbol of Nikke's and victory, we've been wanting to offer more ways to obtain them. Therefore, we plan to bring back pickup recruitment for Modernia, Dorothy, and Red Hood during the 3rd anniversary update at the end of October. Since Pilgrims can be obtained through various methods like the wishlist and new molds, we carefully selected characters that were released early on for this rerun. Details on the 3rd anniversary update will be shared through a separate announcement. That said, since this is the first time a Pilgrim rerun is taking place outside of the New Year period, I felt it necessary to inform you beforehand so you could prepare. We hope this is welcome news for commanders looking forward to recruiting and growing the Pilgrims mentioned above. So I mean, it's like, yeah, it's cool that they're rerunning certain Pilgrims, especially if you missed out on them and haven't gotten them yet from the wish list, but at the same time, it's literally just more currency that's being taken away from you being able to pull for the 3rd anniversary unit, so it's like, I don't know, I guess it gives you more of a reason to just mileage certain characters outright, so maybe just mileage the 3rd Annie units as soon as they drop, and then test your luck on trying to summon for these characters if you still want them, but I don't know, it seems kind of odd to me. Obviously I didn't expect them to just give out Pilgrims for free, but I mean, this many banners, 1% banners going on at one time. I mean, I don't even know if this is like they're each getting their own separate rerun banner, if they're gonna all be put on one banner and all like share the rate up, but I mean, either way, I would just still recommend, unless you're like desperate to get any one of these units, just wait until you get them on standard. Like, you have a better chance doing it that way, I feel, than wasting your currency on a rerun banner for them, especially when you do have 3rd anniversary to worry about on top of Christmas, on top of the New Year's character. I feel like there's pretty much just nothing more than just bait, but I mean, for those that want to, or those that enjoy the idea of getting these characters if they just still don't have them yet, then good for you guys. Coming up towards the end, October update. I recall mentioning it my anticipation for the 3rd anniversary story event in a dev note earlier this year. I do remember that note. It's a story I have personally been looking forward to for a long time, and I am eager to present it to you as soon as possible. Aside from this, the main story and surface content updates for the 3rd Annie are under steady development. While I'd love to go into detail, I want to share it in a fuller form at a more suitable time, so I will skip the detailed explanations of the October update in this dev note. Please look forward to the upcoming 3rd anniversary special program, aka the live stream. I mean, I saw that coming, especially with a new game mode. I mean, I definitely would hope they don't end up having to delay it anymore and just release it at 3rd Annie, but obviously if that is the case, then they're going to have that be part of, the mega 3rd anniversary live stream where we get so much information and news. Lastly, finally I have one last thing to share regarding several recent game related issues. We are reviewing possible solutions. Lately we are working to improve our response time when issues arise, which is good, and these topics will be included in the 3rd anniversary live stream, where the developers will personally introduce updates and optimization plans for both in-game and beyond. And then the last bit of the dev note here. Given the importance of these topics, we felt that rather than conveying them in text, it would be more appropriate to address them seriously in the third Annie developers video that usually goes on as part of the third Annie live stream and discuss our directions for improvements. As such, these matters will not be covered in this dev note, and we ask for your understanding. I already saw that coming. They usually never drop anything major when it comes to Annie related news in the dev note prior to Annie. Whenever we read the feedback from you, we are always filled with gratitude and a deep sense of responsibility. Those times that when we could have done better, we weren't able to, and those moments of regret due to the oversight remain deeply in our hearts. To live up to the name or to the time and support you've devoted to make Nikke a part of your precious lives, we will do our very best. Sincerely, thank you for always staying with us despite our imperfections. So overall, I mean, it was pretty much what I expected from a dev note. It definitely was way longer than I expected it to be, but I did, I guess, end up being right in the fact that it was mainly just because they're just talking about the quality of life stuff. But the main things that came as like new information were like side story, lowering the boss difficulty of Mother Whale for chapter 21 is pretty good. Also getting confirmed when the costume for Rapi will be coming, as well as Umbilical Sphere in the archives. And then, Pilgrim Rerun, I definitely did not see coming, but at the same time, it's also like bittersweet because it just gives you more 1% banners to summon on. Like I said, depending on how they end up navigating that, I do hope they, for simplicity's sake, probably just put them all on one banner. I mean, it's not like I'm going to summon on it anyways, but I feel like for new players that probably want these characters, I mean, you guys let me know, would that be a better idea to put them all on one banner as opposed to making each separate 1% banner? Because again, you still have, 30 units to worry about, so that'll be interesting to see how they end up doing that. And of course, I am excited to see the new Surface game mode once it does get officially announced and revealed. But hopefully we can, still expect to see that by at least before the end of the year. But that's gonna do it for today's video. I know it's probably gonna be a really long one because there was a lot to cover. But let me know down in the comments below if you are happy with how this dev note turned out, if you kind of went about, or if it kind of went how you expected it to go. It's your brother Frona. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.